Welcome back to another video feature of the Immersive Worlds Handbook. Today I am back in Berlin outside the DDR Museum, and I want to take you inside this fascinating interactive museum and give you a sense of what it has to offer. So let's go inside and take a look.
Let me just read you a description provided by the DDR Museum that talks about the purpose of this interactive museum. The DDR Museum is Berlin's interactive museum and one of the most visited attractions in the German capital. History comes dynamically alive as the visitor is given a first-hand introduction to life in the first socialist state on German soil. See, touch, feel, and experience the actual conditions of a long-defunct system. Unique artifacts, futuristic technology, and a prize-winning design transform a museum visit into a great journey back in time. And as you enter the DDR Museum, you could see that they're trying to create this threshold effect whereby you have to present a document to gain admission. And as I noted on this day, true to their advertising literature, the museum is incredibly crowded. In fact, that's maybe the only negative, is they've created such an interactive, immersive space that it's quite popular, and I felt that for some of these exhibits to fully experience and enjoy them, you needed reflection and more introspective opportunities to look at the exhibits. You can also see here they've used objects of various sorts, period cars, other forms of material culture, and like, say, an aesthetic museum like the MoMA, I think they've transformed some of these into more conceptual pieces. You could see you have the objects themselves, but there's an interactive component that they've attached to many of these objects. And here's another description of the DDR Museum that does give you the sense that they aim to be an interactive and immersive space. True to our prize-winning motto, the interactive nature of our exhibition invites visitors to get involved. It's not just about reading and looking. Many of the exhibits require our guests to open doors, pull out drawers, press buttons, and pull levers in order to access information, pictures, films, and objects. A variety of games and activities round off an experience so unique that we were twice nominated as European Museum of the Year. And here you see an example of how the DDR Museum uses this sense of discovery, this idea of beckoning the guests, in this case to open this panel, to discover some information that lies behind it. And I think this is one of the ways that the museum succeeds, as well as any interactive immersive space in a museum that I've seen, constantly encouraging the guest to participate in the space and giving him or her a sense that there's an openness to the space, partaking in the games, partaking in the different activities, here in a simulated foosball game that has information that goes along with the game. And again, to illustrate here in this example, there's a constant emphasis on interactivity, and I never feel at the museum that it's gratuitous. I feel like there's a purpose to it. It's teaching you some lesson. It could be a lesson about history, about culture, about politics. And I think by creating these takeaways, as they call them here with this machine, where I'm taking a piece of the museum away with me, it makes a connection with the guests that can last well after that guest has left the museum. And I think for me, interactive museums give you the sense that there's something more to the information that's presented on the surface of the museum. If a typical museum diorama or sign gives you one bit of information, I think the DDR Museum contrasts this with information that's active. There's, as you can see in this example of language, a sense of discovery, connecting the dots, connecting the pieces to gain a better sense of exactly what is involved in that museum. And as you can see, what the museum does quite effectively, I believe, in creating an immersive space is taking you through different zones. These could be informational zones, these could be zones that present material culture, artifacts. They use quite a few design technologies as well to divide the space, and this again, for me, creates the sense that you're somewhere unique. You're not in a very staid, boring museum that probably each and every one of us has experienced. And this is, coming up here, one of my favorite features at the museum, just before we turn the corner here. And this particular feature that you're going to see focuses on what might be typical life for a resident in the former East Germany. And so what they've done here is they've recreated a space that looks probably stereotypically like a typical living room. As you enter the space, you see a table, you see period wallpaper. Just beyond the living room space is a kitchen area. And I actually feature this space in an additional video feature that you can watch. And as you end here, you see there's a TV that plays period pieces that a typical resident might have seen in the day. And I hope you have an opportunity to visit, if you're ever in Berlin, the DDR Museum. As I've offered in this video feature, I think it's an effective, immersive museum because it doesn't take the guest for granted. It really does offer him or her the sense that there's something to be discovered about this important and turbulent period in East German history. And I think it accomplishes in a sense of immersion by using a number of creative immersive technologies, techniques, material culture design, signage, and all sorts of interactive and unique creative experiences that the guest is allowed to be involved in. So if you get this opportunity to visit the DDR Museum, you might come to similar conclusions in terms of seeing some of the ways that the museum creates an interactive experience for the guest.
So I hope you enjoyed this tour and that you will come back and watch additional video features for the Immersive Worlds Handbook.